Oh my, oh my, oh my, not good, not good, not good!
Ugh, what are you guys doing in here?
They're trying their best to unimpress me. Mission accomplished.
Nancy! Hi! Joe was just, making an effort.
Oh, that's what that smell is.
I tried showing him the ropes, but he wants to prove he can do it without my help.
Tegan set out the ingredients for Johnny cakes before she had to run, but I gotta admit, it's been a while since I last whipped something up. Successfully.
Oh, I love Johnny cakes. I can help.
Of course you can. All right, Hardy, step down before we have another fire on our hands.
All right, let's see. Step 1. 1 cup of sugar. 1 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of sugar. This can't be right.
I told you I couldn't keep up with her, so I improvised. I'm 100% certain about the amounts, though.
Let's approach this sensibly. What do we need? One cup of flour, cornmeal, sugar, salt, flour. 1 cup of flour.
I think you've got it.
Cornmeal. 1 cup cornmeal.
We're getting there.
1 spoon of 1 teaspoon, 1 spoon of sugar.
I think you've got it.
1 spoon of sugar.
Looks right to me.
1 spoon of baking powder.
Looks right to me.
1 teaspoon of salt.
Looks right to me. That looks great. Let's tackle the next step.
All right, second step. We have to fill the bowl until the weight is just right.
Quick heads up, this is about where things started to go south last time.
Hey!
Let's just trust that Nancy knows what she's doing.
That looks great. Let's tackle the next step. Finally, my favorite part.
I thought your favorite part was eating.
My next favorite part.
Dear goodness.
Joe, could you help me pour while I flip?
Sure thing.
Relax, there's no need to rush.
This is going great. I think. This is going great. I think.
Only a few more.
All done. They look super tasty. Let's eat.
smell delicious.
Great job, Nancy.
These look amazing.
Okay. May, these are the Hardy brothers, Frank and Joe.
We are very interested in your case.
Uh-huh.
They're good friends of mine. They're going to help us with the investigation. The more people we have working on this, the better chance we have of solving the case.
Cool.
Joe, you need to learn how to cook. Maybe let Frank teach you. Otherwise, how are you going to impress anyone?
Solving crimes impresses people.
So does committing them. What? It's true. Not saying I'm impressed by that. Just stating a fact. I prefer someone who possesses a deep intellectual appreciation and table manners.
You want to be impressed? We should finally show her our business plan for our new business. What? It's very businessy.
What? What is it?
Well, Joe and I have been talking recently about making things a bit more official. Since we're always called to solve crimes, we thought that maybe we should start getting paid for it.
We're starting our very own detective agency. License, insurance, the whole thing. And
And we want to know if you'd be interested in being a partner.
A partner?
Hey, table that. All right, Drew. Why not update everyone on where we're at?
So, I guess you're wondering about the thing I mentioned.
yes, sounds super exciting.
I already told them about the whole sighting.
Yeah, I can't explain it. Yet.
Even with the most modern scientific techniques available, there are many phenomena that we still cannot explain. I believe what you saw was real.
What?
What?
Sure, some sort of combination of gaseous blow-off and light refraction.
No, supernatural. A ghost, a real ghost, with thoughts and memory and agency.
I'm not so sure.
I just built some new equipment that I'd love to try out.
I'm sure it's nothing, but we'll go to the cemetery today and investigate anyway. Maybe we can add ghost hunting to our detective services. Kidding.
One thing I'd like to do today is check the town archives.
If it's all the same to you, I'd prefer to handle this. You were gonna look into the history of ownership of the Hathorne House, right?
Yeah, sure. We can go together.
No. It's better if I handle this solo. I'm a whiz with microfiche. Don't ask me why.
Sounds like a story.
And I'm not going to tell it to you, okay?
So, Nancy, what do you think we should focus on for the investigation?
The arson that happened last week.
And we haven't had the chance to collect any alibis yet.
We need to ask everyone we've met where they were on the night of the arson. Corroborating their answers with whomever they were with will help bring into focus who is and isn't a suspect. Judge Danforth mentioned that he was the victim of a burglary.
What was stolen?
We don't know.
The judge was working with Tegan on developing a case for the Accused Witches organization.
The what?
The descendants of the accused witches of the 1692 Salem witch trials. They're staking a claim to the Hathorne estate due to unjust dispossession and execution of their ancestors. It's one of the reasons I searched for the Book of Apologies in Austria, as it contains a record of wronged families. But someone swiped it from right under my nose. And around the time of the arson, there was a burglary at the judge's office.
Too coincidental not to be connected.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I'd like to review the crime scene at the courthouse for any clues.
The judge might not let you do that. He didn't sound very forthcoming.
True. But maybe my father can convince him. They're old friends. I can give him a call.
All right, what else?
We need to figure out how the theft from Mosem Castle is connected to this case.
Theft of what?
The Book of Apologies. My dad asked me to retrieve it from Mosam Castle in Austria as a favor for Judge Danforth, who works here in Salem. It details all the victims of the witch trials, some of which are still unknown to this day.
However, this book was stolen as well, 3 days ago, when Nancy was there.
Why was this book all the way in Austria?
Great question.
The resident historian told me the judge who wrote the book willed all his belongings to be preserved by whichever museum would have them at the time. That must be how it ended up in an Austrian castle, for safekeeping.
Well, that certainly didn't stop the thief, whoever it is.
I can ask around about alibis during this time period as well. See if anyone in town can't be accounted for. Might point us in the right direction.
I have something to add. Whoever is responsible for this crime is going to great lengths to cover it up. We don't know if these people are dangerous. Remember that. And be careful.
Hey, are you feeling any better about the case?
Nope.
We're going to find out who did this, May. I promise.
If you say so. Look, thanks for breakfast. I just want to say, I know you're trying to help, but I think you're wasting your time.
You said you used to hang out at the Hathorne House, right?
Uh-huh.
Did you ever see anything strange when you were there?
Like ghosts?
Yeah.
No, never.
Oh, okay. Do you feel ready to talk about your alibi?
I don't even have a passport. I don't go anywhere, so I wasn't in Austria, if that's what you're thinking.
And on the night of the arson? Giving us your alibi would help you so much. People tell me there's a good reason to suspect you, but no one can say why.
Isn't it obvious? I've got a burn mark covering the entire side of my face and like most of my arms. It must be me.
I'm sorry that happened to you, and I'm sorry if people judge you for your burns.
I prefer it to pity.
Would you tell me what happened?
There was a fire. I was in it.
I'm not trying to pry. It's just that so far, the main cause for suspecting you of the Hathorne fire seems to be this previous one. I only want to understand.
I was 9. It was an old shed, and I wasn't supposed to play in it. It was kind of a den full of stuff, like candles. I got stuck inside. You can work out the rest.
So it was an accident. You were just a kid. Harsh to suspect you now because of something you didn't mean to happen.
Don't make me talk about it more.
Okay. Thank you for telling me, May. Talk to you later.
Oh, you're here.
Yes, I am. This shop is really cool. I love the decor.
Thank you. It's taken a lot of years to get it the way I want.
I kind of imagine this is what an actual witch's shop would look like.
Yeah.
Seriously, you have all these herbs. Look, St. John's wort, mandrake root. You know, witches were just synonymous with people who used the old medieval ways of working with plants and animals, curing ills. They were healers, shamans, and confessors. You can see why some people might have been threatened by them.
I know, right? No leeches here, though. I draw the line at bloodsuckers. I'm glad you get it. A lot of people around here don't.
How so?
Some say I'm cashing in, not respecting history. People get so caught up in the death and judgment. But I was always interested in all of that lost knowledge, even as a kid.
I bet a lot of kids around here are fascinated by it.
Used to be.
You get a lot of people in? Maybe May Perry?
May. That's funny.
Why?
Look, she's had a hard time. She's not the only one. I've been the kid everyone looks at. You need friends to talk to. She doesn't want any.
She has her sister. Tegan cares about her.
Tegan protects what's important to Tegan. Sometimes that's May.
Gosh, these pastries look delicious. interesting book.
It's very old. Priceless, really.
Well, in that case, why not keep it behind glass?
I use it every day. Only me, no one else. Now, what else do you want to talk about?
A commercial-grade tea machine. Fancy. A commercial-grade tea machine. Fancy.
Nancy, hey, how's the investigation going?
Pretty well. You know, it would really help if I could get May to talk to me.
She hasn't given her alibi yet.
No, and everyone seems to have one, except her.
Everyone? Is it possible that it could be someone from outside of town? A visitor or something?
Absolutely. But statistically speaking, crime is rarely a random occurrence.
It's a mystery to me. You have anything you wanted to talk about?
What's the history behind the Hathorne estate?
Right. Well, Judge John Hathorne was born and raised in Salem. His father was a decorated military man who had many real estate holdings throughout New England. And when Judge Hathorne became a justice, he tried to expand those holdings. Much of the land that the Hathorne estate was built on was actually seized property from accused witches.
So awful. I think the land stealing part was even mentioned in Olivia's tour.
Didn't expect her to actually care about the history. At the time, no one made the connection, not even in court documents. But it happened.
Do you think the fire is somehow related to Salem's history with witches?
What do you mean?
Like, is it meant as a symbolic gesture? Because that's how most witches...
That was a European thing. No, they were more civilized in the New World. We hung our witches. Short drop, so they slowly choked to death. A couple more died in custody awaiting trial, and one, an elderly man who refused to testify, was pressed to death.
Pressed?
Yeah. They put a bunch of heavy stones on top of you, over a period of days.
That's horrible.
She did not know the weight until she felt the freedom. Scarlet Letter. Also a descendant of Judge Hathorne. Except Nathaniel Hawthorne was so horrified with his family's history that he added a W to change it.
Wow. The focus on descendants isn't really something they teach you in school.
Yep. We think our world is so much more advanced now, but we have a hard time escaping our past.
Where were you on the night of the fire?
I was at my boyfriend's watching a movie. Here, this is his number. You can ask him.
Have you been dating Damien for a long time?
Yeah, a couple years, I think. I like him. I mean, I really do. He listens to me. Yeah, he's great.
Was he with you the whole night?
I mean, most of the night. I don't think he's capable of arson, if that's what you're suggesting.
You trust him?
Absolutely, 100%. Go ahead, call him. You'll see.
There was this photo tucked away in the guest room.
Now I'm really embarrassed. Such an awkward age.
Is that Olivia and Lauren in the picture with you?
Yeah, we were pretty tight back then. Had to take pictures.
I couldn't tell where it was taken. Do you remember? There were lots of books and candles.
It was probably I don't know. Books and candles are everywhere in Salem. It could be anywhere. It was years ago. I don't really remember.
How did Frances Tuttle come to own the property?
Ms. Tuttle bought it 30 years ago, cheap. It was falling apart. The former owners couldn't be located, so it was auctioned. She was a bit of a kooky lady living in a ruin like that, but she was kind. I mean, she took in Lauren like a daughter. That says something about someone, doesn't it?
I agree. Do you remember what you were doing 3 nights ago?
3 days ago? Well, I was probably working here. Why?
You were working at the museum. Can anyone confirm that?
Well, I'm always here.
But was anyone else here?
May was home all day, laying low, and Olivia wasn't here either. I don't know where she was, to be honest. You'll have to ask her.
So no one can confirm that? And you're sure May was at home?
She's barely left the house since the incident. People here treat her like she has an infectious disease. It's awful. And I don't blame her if she wants to sit at home on her phone all day. Ugh. Her parents need to come home. Soon. So, I gotta ask. What do you get out of this?
I get a lot.
Really? You travel around, talk to all these people, deal with all their problems, put yourself in harm's way?
Not always. All right, some of the time. I don't know. It's like there's these small obstacles that I enjoy working on, and they're interesting. But what I really love is the puzzle of humanity. What makes people tick? Why do people do what they do? It's always the hardest one to crack, because sometimes we do things that don't make sense. We're inherently irrational. Know what I mean?
You know, there's a theory about why these specific women were persecuted as witches. Some people believe that ergot, which is a fungus that grows in cereal grains, might have gotten into the food supply. It poisons anyone who eats it. Hallucinations, circulation issues, seizures. It would have made people look like they were possessed. Or made the judges think they were doing God's will. Or make the whole town go haywire.
A rational explanation for irrational behavior.
Just a theory. We'll never know. Anyway, I don't want to keep you. Thanks for stopping by.
Can you tell me about the accident May was in when she was a kid?
Why do you need to know that? How is it important?
I didn't think it was, but everyone else sees reason to believe May is the one who burned Hathorne House. So that makes it important, I know.
It started with the arson, and she has other convictions on her juvenile record as well.
What happened?
It was an old shed near our home. May was about 9 or so. She was in it one night. She shouldn't have been. Playing with candles, a lighter, I don't know. It caught fire. She was charged.
She was so young.
I feel responsible. She shouldn't even have been there, and I'm the older sister.
It's not your fault. I'm sorry to upset you. It helps me to understand.
Just don't talk to May about it, please.
Do you have any more information about the Salem witch trials?
Did the exhibitions manage to spark your interest?
They did. I found this display showing the ancestry of the accused, but it didn't seem fully complete. I was wondering if you had more information stored here somewhere.
Well, we do have the upper floor, which is also where I keep most of my accused witches' stuff.
Would it be okay for me to go up there? I'd really like getting a better picture of the history of Salem.
Usually we don't allow people up on the second floor. It's restricted. But maybe just this once I can make an exception. You are here to help, after all. So if you think it would benefit you, feel free to go up there.
Thank you.
I'll open the door for you. It's actually really cool. The stairs are hidden behind a bookcase. Hold on.
Someone's a busy bee. Old court protocols, ancestry records. Tegan is really digging deep into the witch trials.
You're back! Great. Let me guess. More questions?
Spooky how you could tell.
Though it harm none, do as thou wilt.
Okay.
I'm saying I guess it can't do any harm.
I've been going around asking everyone in town where they were on the night of the arson.
The night of the what?
Arson? At Hathorne House?
Why, I have no idea what you're talking about. Kidding, Nancy. Don't look so serious. I was here that night, doing my thing. I think there had to have been at least 20 people who can confirm that. It really stinks that Lauren is going to lose her home.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, of course.
So, I've heard ghosts are haunting Salem.
Of course.
You believe it?
How could I not when I've seen them with my own eyes?
Really? Can you describe what you saw?
Sure. It was dark, foggy. I was walking through the cemetery. Or was it the town square? I don't remember, but I do remember a ghost. No, multiple ghosts. Spirits.
And did you ever see any ghosts near Hathorne House?
As a matter of fact, I did. I told you that a coven of witches unleashed them on the town a few years back. They will not rest until they get their vengeance. Let me guess. You can't find proof of a living soul present at the house the night it burned. Maybe the culprit wasn't among the living?
That sounds even harder to prove.
Have you seen The Restless Souls of Salem, Nancy?
I've seen something, but I'm not willing to just believe it's real. I need more.
Be careful. They'll still find you whether you believe in them or not. You might want to avoid the cemetery.
3 days ago, were you doing any witch tours?
3 days ago? No, I was not.
Okay. You remember what you were doing?
Actually, I had won a spa holiday at the Wayfarer Inn over in Marblehead. It was amazing! They used those glass cup things on my back. It was wicked crazy.
Oh. You have any receipts or...
It was all expenses paid. And I'd show you my back, but I'm a quick healer. Witch powers. It looks like it never happened. You know, I had a flyer for the spa, but I threw it away this morning. Sorry, I know I'm not being helpful.
It's okay. You are. Thanks. It's about you, Tegan, and Lauren when you were kids.
Why are you interested in this? We grew apart. It happens.
I found an old photo from back then. It had the name Coven on it. Look. Was it the one you talk about in your show?
You found this photo at Tegan's house? I didn't peg her as sentimental.
So was it the same one?
Well, yes. Same coven. We heard about it as kids, I guess. We were all into history and witches. We still are.
And yet you've never made up.
I don't get why you care.
Can't help it. It's a mystery, even if you all tell me it isn't. See you later. What kind of herb herbs do you have here?
The kind that helps people ease their burdens. Since cold season started, business has been booming. Between managing the shop itself and preparing remedies, it's getting harder to keep up.
I don't mind lending you a hand with preparing the remedies, if that's okay with you. I love learning new things.
This is delicate work. But you do seem to have an interest in herbology. Sure, it would be fun to pass on the basics, at least. I'll be around the shop and manage the counter. Just let me know when you have something finished, and I'll take a look at it.
Great. So, where do I begin?
I've prepared the patient notes already. You can find them on the counter. You can use my reference book to study the herbs and what ailments they cure, and the basics of remedy mixing.
Okay. This is gonna be so much fun. I was hoping I could borrow a key to the main Hathorne House.
Key? Oh, I don't have a key anymore.
You don't?
No, but Alicia does. If you ask her, she'll lend it to you, I'm sure.
You ever hear rumors about a coven in Salem?
That's just something Olivia says to sell tour tickets. I didn't think you believed in that kind of witch.
So you never heard a rumor? As a kid, maybe.
What are you getting at?
I found a photo of you three from when you were kids.
She kept it?
Do you remember where this photo was taken?
Sure. Well, sort of. It was a shed somewhere close to the neighborhood the Perrys live in. We went there a few times.
So, the three of you used to hang out.
Well, that was long ago. We did dumb things. I wish we hadn't. Far as I know, there's no coven of witches, though.
Everyone says there are ghosts in this town. Is that true? What is it?
You know, I believe the dead stay dead, but I've seen ghosts recently in my own house.
Really?
Wait, you believe me? I thought I was going crazy.
I believe there's an explanation. Who was it?
I don't know. A woman wearing old clothes like the kind you find in Tegan's museum. I couldn't see her face, and I swear she was real. I could hear her. I could feel her. She smelled like rotten fruit or something. You know that gray, moldy smell that hits you in the back of your throat? Yeah, that.
Huh. That's pretty specific, actually. More specific than anyone else I've talked to.
I saw her in the Hathorne House. Watch out for her. She'll come to you. No doubt in my mind.
I'm sure you've been asked this before, but where were you on the night Hathorne House was burned down?
I was coming home from work, crossing through the cemetery. I could see the orange glow. By the time I got home, it was almost all gone. I called it in.
Were you the first one to call? Anyone see you earlier? Like an hour before?
I was in my shop.
Any customers?
No. Are you trying to say that I burned down the house?
No, I never said that.
Good. I've said it 1,000,000 times, but I'll say it again for your benefit. I'm just glad she wasn't alive to see it. She loved that house, and I loved her. You understand?
Of course. You were the first person to see the fire?
Well, yeah. I was going home, and that's where the fire was.
You know the fire might help you keep your home.
I know that now, but I didn't before. It's a slim chance at best. I'd rather it was whole and shown to be mine by right.
But if that's not an option?
Nothing could make me want to destroy it.
You remember where you were 3 nights back?
I was here. I told you already. I have the receipts to prove it, and I'm the only...
Oh, no, just... See you...
break. You need it.
Jason, I have had these protesters outside my window nonstop for days. I must deal with this situation. The longer it goes on, the worse it looks.
Yeah. Ooh, but I'm buying lunch.
You're buying? Really? With what?
You gotta get over this, Dad. It's not good for you. It's not healthy.
What are you talking about?
You resent me.
I don't resent you, Jason. Miss Drew, please, come in. We'll talk later, okay?
Oh, you have time for her, but not for me.
Please, Jason.
Hi, Jason Danforth.
Nancy Drew.
Nancy Drew. You're visiting Salem, yeah? What do you think? Kind of a boring town beneath all the legend.
Jason, come on. We have a meeting.
Actually, it seems like there's a lot going on here.
Well, whenever you're up for some real excitement, look me up.
I'm sorry. He's still trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life.
Didn't want to follow in his father's footsteps.
Oh, he tried. Didn't have the dedication to follow through with the schooling. Anyway, let's get started.
As you know, I want to investigate the crime scene. Could you give me the code for the keypad?
Information isn't usually available to the public. I'm afraid I can't just take your word for it. I'll have it taken care of.
Miss Drew, how can I help you?
Hi, Miss Cole.
Alicia, please.
Oh, same. Nancy.
Great. So what do you need, Nancy? Any more paper clips, staplers, or perhaps a hammer drill?
I'm more of a pneumatic nail gun type.
Ha ha, nice.
You have a hammer drill.
In my closet. I'm a bit of a home improvement junkie. You have to be when you live in a house built in the 1800s.
Well, thanks, but I don't need any of those things. I do have some questions, though.
Please. I don't mind.
I'm sure you've heard about the burglary in the court's evidence room.
Yes, unbelievable. You know, I've started asking myself, what is happening to this town? It used to be such a safe place. And now,
Oh, you're trying...
I mean, yes. But with the amount that I work, when is the... And to be honest, the type of people... How about you?
I have a boyfriend.
Really?
Well, he...
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh.
No one said it was he.
All I'll say is, most men don't understand what...
Of course, they don't. I just met Jason Danforth.
What did you think? Kinda cute, huh?
Not the adjective I would use.
Different taste.
Yeah, I think he's kind of like a fast food cheeseburger with extra cheese. And I'm more of a home-cooked meal kind of gal.
What can I say? I love cheese.
So you know him well?
I know him. He does odd jobs for me sometimes. Doesn't hurt that he's easy on the eyes. He is kinda dumb, though.
I wouldn't really know, to be honest.
Listen, spare yourself the headache and just avoid him. Trust me, not much substance. He loves his car. That's all you really need to know.
Do you know who has access to the evidence room?
As far as I know, just myself and the judge.
That's interesting.
Look, I don't like saying this, but the judge occasionally leaves the evidence room unlocked. The man even locked himself in his own office, for pity's sake. Not that it matters.
So it's safe to say you weren't here during the theft?
Are you liking me for this crime?
No, I don't like anyone for this crime. Or any other crime for that matter. Just doing my research.
I was not here. I was running errands around town. Busy, busy, busy.
Do you happen to have the code for the evidence room?
Nope, sorry. He hasn't given that to me yet. And knowing him, he's probably already lost it.
Doing some follow-ups with the arson. Where were you that night?
Are you asking for my alibi?
Well, yes, if you don't mind.
I was at a charity fundraiser, saving the piping plovers. Anyone in this town that works in an official capacity can vouch for me. Are you interviewing any of them?
I don't think I'll need to.
I'm a little bit surprised you'd even ask.
Just being thorough.
I can respect that.
Would you mind telling me what you were doing 3 days ago?
3 days ago. All day, or
Well, any info would be helpful.
actually, why are you interested in this?
I was in Austria 3 days ago and witnessed a theft of a historical artifact there that, surprisingly, I believe is connected to this theft.
I see. I was talking to your father about that case.
Really?
Yeah, we chat sometimes. About work. Mostly.
Okay.
Ask him.
Sure.
You're a regular sleuth, aren't you? Picking up other cases now?
Not exactly. It's kind of related to the Hathorne House.
Yeah, let's see. I was home watching Jason cut the stump out of my front yard.
You hired Jason Danforth for that?
He's cheap, and he can't say no because he needs the money. Plus, I kind of like watching him suffer a little.
I wouldn't know why.
You know, I could use someone like you. A lawyer is always in need of a good private investigator. If your father would be okay with you working for someone else.
Alicia, I'm my own woman. I work for myself. But you've been very helpful, and I really appreciate it.
Good. Well, when you solve this case, let's talk.
Do you know Lauren Holt?
Owner of Luminous Infusions. Resident of the Hathorne Estate Carriage House.
So do you know her?
Absolutely. I represent.
How's the case going?
Well, that's a bit of a confidentiality issue. But you are the daughter of a lawyer. So, without a will, there is no case.
And without the will, the house goes to the state.
The law is the law. I can try to get a delay, but we've already delayed twice. It's a tough world out there.
I spoke with Lauren. She mentioned you have a key
A key?
to the Hathorne House.
It's the only copy. Don't lose it. Oh, and this really isn't supposed to be in your hands. If someone finds you with it, I might have to say you stole it.
I'll make sure to be discreet. Thanks.
Here to help, Nancy. Hey, next time, please knock before entering.
See you.
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it?
Locked. Locked. The key should fit, but the door and lock are awry. The door needs more leverage. This ought to help me out. Now this is more like it. Locked. There we go. Now it fits. An old secretary desk. Roaring 20s, maybe. The walls are are still smoldering from the fire. It's making my eyes water. There's something peculiar about this mirror. Someone painted laurels on the mirror glass, but why? An old secretary. Letter written in Francis Tuttle's own hand. A brand new jacket? Who would leave this behind? Oh, hello. A business card. Olivia Ravencroft, what were you doing here? Judge Danforth's permission before I investigate the burglary. As you know, I want to investigate the crime scene. Could you give me the code for the keypad?
That information isn't usually available to the public. I'm afraid I can't just take your word for it. I'll have it taken care of.
How's my girl doing?
Hey, Dad. I have a favor I need to ask you.
Of course. Shoot.
I need to investigate inside the Salem courthouse, specifically concerning the burglary in the evidence room. Do you think you could call Judge Danforth on my behalf and get his permission?
Not a problem. You know, this reminds me, next time you see him, you should bring up the Lake Winnipesaukee Regatta.
Dad.
Yeah?
Maybe later.
Sure thing. Talk soon.
As you know, I want to investigate the crime scene.
That information isn't usually available to the public. I'm afraid I can't just...
You're all set.
Great. Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else?
I'm just really proud of you, Nancy. I don't know how often I tell you that. I think it's not nearly enough.
Thanks, Dad. You know I learned it all from you, right?
Oh, now I know that's not true. The judge told me about us. You certainly didn't. I'd expect nothing less.
Judge, everything okay?
What in the Sam heck is a Bitcoin?
A Bitcoin? It's a cryptocurrency.
A what?
It's a...
All these new made-up digital things just go too far.
As you know, I want to investigate the crime scene. Could you give me the code for the keypad?
Oh, yes, about that. Well, you see, I had it written on a post-it note, but I seem to have misplaced it. It should be around here somewhere. feel free to look for it.
Oh, okay. As you know, I want to
Oh, yes, about that. Well, you see, I had it written on a post-it note.
Oh, okay. There's a number written on here. No glass on the floor, so the window was broken from the inside. A map of Salem. Need to get the list of the evidence that was stored here. Now to figure out which ones were stolen. No. 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 Interesting. No. Interesting. Interesting. All of the stolen evidence was linked to the accused witch's claim to Hathorne House. It's dusty. It's dusty. A CCTV camera. There might be footage from the day of the break-in. Should ask the judge about this. The break-in was staged. The thief must have come in through the door. I went through the missing evidence and was able to get a list of everything that's missing. Judge? Judge?
I'm afraid I haven't been completely honest with you, Nancy.
I know.
What? You know?
Let's just say I can tell when someone is trying to hide.
The reason Carson sent you to Mosem Castle was because I already knew what was stolen from the courthouse. Tegan Perry had assembled a packet of documents outlining her accused witch's claims on the Hathorne House. They were compelling, and I believe she had a real claim. But now, they're missing.
No documents, no claim.
Yes. Oh, what a map.
Without any evidence or will, what's the legal status of the house?
Well, that is a somewhat complicated question. So many moving parts.
You're the one who decides who gets the house.
How did you know?
I can tell you're not happy about being the center of such a large decision.
Well, it's muddy, legally, and complicated for other reasons.
Because it's not just who lives there. It's tied up in the town's history.
Yes, not to be taken lightly.
Do you remember any details about the AW evidence?
I don't remember much, unfortunately. Oh, there was this key with its blade shape to spell AW. Very unique. Not sure what it was connected to.
Like this one?
Yes, that's it. Where did you find this?
Mosam casts I say both crimes are connected. The theft of the Book of Apologies and the theft of evidence from the courthouse.
Someone is going to great lengths to prevent the AW organization from having a claim on the Hathorne estate.
Any educated guess who that might be?
Practically everybody in this town. Everyone has an interest. Some want it to be a museum, others a carnival attraction. And I'm sure Lauren Holt just wants to live there.
I'll have to dig deeper.
Well, you'll need to do it quickly. I unfortunately must file the papers in 2 days. Otherwise, I lose control of the property and it falls into the hands of the state. And I doubt they give a fig about anyone's opinions from this town.
I love a good ticking clock, as long as it's not a time bomb. Where were you when this evidence was stolen?
If you can believe it, I was here, working. I have no reason to steal the evidence, trust me. It's giving me more headaches than I care to admit.
Do you have CCTV footage from the break-in?
Yes, we do. Huh. I had completely forgotten about those.
Do you mind if I take a look at the footage?
Of course, of course. It'll take about a day to get the right footage. Come back tomorrow and it will be here waiting for you.
Do you mind me asking what you were doing 3 days ago?
That would be the day you visited Mosam Castle. Are you asking for an alibi, Miss Drew?
I'm just trying to confirm what everyone was doing the day that the Book of Apologies was stolen.
I know it was stolen. But you know I'm the one that called your dad to have you go look for it to begin with.
Right. But other people might say they were with you.
I was at Salem District Court all day, so unless you're interviewing the fine folks who stole eggs from a plover's nest at Winter Island Beach, or triple parked outside the Wax Museum during the middle of the Harvest Festival, I highly doubt my schedule will have crossover with any of the alibis you're following up on.
One quick question for you, Judge. Do you remember where you were on the night the Hathorne House was burned?
Of course. I was having dinner with my son. It was a very expensive dinner because Jason got the 64-ounce tomahawk chop. And I paid for it like I always do. Ha! You actually suspect me of committing this crime?
No. I just like to get the full picture of who was where, when.
Oh, good.
Right. Thank you, Judge. Also, I thought you should know there's a car parked outside in the handicapped spot.
Huh, you don't say. I'll have it taken care of. Goodbye now.
You left your door open.
Actually, that was Damien Faulkner. He's my intern.
You have an intern. I haven't seen him.
He's around. Someone has to make the coffee here. I'm swamped most days, and I could barely trust Judge Danforth with a flashlight.
Oh, I mean, he's not that in.
You're right. That was me.
Do you have access to any of the CCTV footage?
No, sorry. I think that's the judge's purview.
Did you know that the break-in was fake?
Sorry, I'm not following.
Whoever broke in entered the evidence room without actually having to break anything. They tried to make it look like they broke in from outside, but they came in through the door.
I told the judge to lock that door.
And considering how lax security is around here, I mean, you just walked right in. It could have been anyone.
I'm just glad we upgraded the security since then.
Why did you bring your...
Well, after the burglary, we realized that this place...
That's impressive.
Yeah, still.
What did you mean when you said the people here are not...
Oh, you probably.
I have.
It's all people with minds as small as the town.
That's...
Oh, nothing much.
Do you See you...
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it?
Ooh, should we...
I just have... What kind...
Nancy, hey.
Deirdre only mentioned it in passing, but you and Olivia used to be friends?
We were, and I guess it doesn't hurt to mention that Lauren was a part of our little group as well. But that was years ago.
So you don't get along now?
Things changed.
Did something happen?
I don't see why this is relevant. Aren't you supposed to be clearing my sister's name? She doesn't need more blame for things she didn't do.
What did she get the blame for?
This town wants someone to blame for...
I want to know more about anyone who might have a motive for the fire.
I guess.
What can you tell me about Olivia?
What can I tell you about I can tell you that I think her shtick is ridiculous. And that she's doing this town a disservice by selling this silly...
Do you think she would...
I suppose it would be good for business.
Especially...
She is pretty happy, like...
I know. I can't help but think about the room...
You shouldn't pay any attention to her stories. She just said...
So you never heard...
I didn't say that. There are no witches in Salem. Just showy
What can you...
Lauren is a piece of work. Olivia may pretend to be a witch, but Lauren thinks she's a witch.
So...
I've never been in, but I've had the tea.
Do you think she would burn...
I don't know. Maybe. If she thought it would help her stay on the ground.
Talk to you... The carefully
You're back!
I found this jack...
Oh my gosh, where'd you find it? I've been looking for this.
It was in the
Hathorne House? I've never...
I don't know, but it had your business card in it.
What luck?
Sure. See you later.
Can I help you?
Right. Thank you, Judge. Also...
Huh, you don't say.
have a couple.
Well, lucky for you.
See you. Hey,
Nope.
we're going to find out who did this, May.
If you say so. Look, thanks for breakfast.
Talk to you. Need to get the... All of the stolen evidence was linked to the accused... All of the stolen evidence was It's dusty. It's dust.
I knew you could.
Yes.
I'm open tomorrow night. Or tonight.
How about...
Wait. You.
Definitely.
Oh.
Where were you on the night Hathorne House was...
Oh, right.
Do you remember?
Yeah. Primal Cut.
I'm sorry.
It's a steakhouse. I was there with my dad. So, if we haven't been on a...
No thing. I have another question.
Yes, it's true.
I actually wanted to know...
Are you sure that's what you...
Yes.
I was actually digging out a stump.
You.
What? Yeah. Not my favorite. I mean, it gives a good taste. You don't believe me? Well, maybe you should ride with me to the beach.
No thing.
No.
See you later.
Sorry to break it to you, but I'm ghosting you.
Amelia Ravencroft. What were you doing?
You're back!
See you later. Scented candles. Francis Tuttle needed this medical machine to stay alive. It's done. Francis Tuttle. The entire second floor has How's it going?
Nothing. Aside from the weird looks from the woman who lives here. Lauren Holt, I think her name was. To be fair, it looks like we're drilling for oil with all this equipment. Whoa! Cold spot! Grab that EMP meter, Frank! Quickly!
What, you mean this? It says EM...
Yeah, that...
This one?
Yes!
Because I have these other devices here, like...
Come on, Frank, hurry! God, it's gone!
Oh, hey, Nancy, forgot to tell you. On the way into town, I spotted surveillance cameras on the outside of the courthouse. Try checking the footage. I'm sure they have cameras on the inside as well.
Yeah, good catch.
We'll let you know if we catch any phenomena.
Thanks. The Salem Museum.
Nancy.
Talk to you. same notes she took when discussing the ailments with her patients. Need to figure out the proper mix of... This book looks really warm.
No, Nancy, please don't touch that.
Oh.
Yeah, I lost the key to that one. Sorry. It has.
I just have a couple... See you...
Hi, Nancy.
I just have a couple more things I wanted to ask you.
Well, lucky for you, it's quiet.
See you...
What's the big holdup? The parrot.
Only a matter of time until the neighborhood...
The system has gone soft. Lets them off the hook.
They better book her before Halloween. I don't...
Why are there protesters?
Let's visit the cemetery. I want to... I heard there's a new exhibit.
Hi, Nancy.
See...
Yes.
See...
Can I?
Right. Thank you, Judge.
Huh, you don't say.
Hello?
Help!
Deirdre!
I got you.
It's not...
Come on, because now I know.
Of course I care.
Well, anyway, I have some information for you.
She's the former owner of...
What?
Well, I thought...
It all goes back to Frances Tuttle. Check it out. She took over the Hathorne House estate in 1992. Although I found 3 different...
The judge said there was a...
Exactly. But as far as I can tell, there is no will. Nothing was...
Are you saying you think...
Sounds bizarre.
But...
Because in Salem, a historic...
So...
Mm-hmm. Now...
Okay. See if you can find out anything else. I'll meet you back at the Perry house.
Hi. If you're hearing this, that means I can't come to the phone right now. Sorry.
Sorry to break it to you. Thank you for calling, but I'm not here right now.
I can't come to the phone right now.
Can I?
Right.
Huh?
We're going to find out who...
You say, look, thanks for breakfast.
Talk to you.
Hi, Nancy. What?
Lauren, need...
Yes. Please.
Our ladies, the ginger...
This isn't right. Remember to read the patient's note carefully.
Cinnamon, ginger, sage, garlic. Our ladies, the chamomile, feverfew. Garlic, garlic, chamomile, feverfew. Our Lady's thistle, sage.
You're gonna have to start over. This won't work for those ailments.
Sage. Feverfew. Sage.
You're gonna have to start over. This won't work for those ailments.
Garlic. Garlic. Our Lady's the chamomile. Ginger. Sage. Feverfew. Cinnamon. Chamomile. Gin.
Did you read the book properly? No, this isn't right. Remember to read the patient's note carefully.
Feverfew.
You're gonna have to start over. This won't work for those elements.
Lauren asked me not to read this, but it could be relevant to the case. Lauren asked me not to read this.
You're gonna have to start over. This won't work for those elements.
Still locked. have a couple. Time to mix. Gin.
You're gonna have to start over. This won't work for those elements.
Feverfew.
Did you read the book properly?
Feverfew.
Did you read the book properly? Did you read the book properly? You're gonna have to start over. This won't work for those elements.
Gosh. Herbal teas. Herbal teas. What an odd. It fits. Sweet marjoram. One.
You're gonna have to start over. This won't work for those elements.
These snapdragons are lovely. These snapdragons... These snapdragons are... Wild rosemary, how beautiful! And nutritious. What? Time to mix it up.
Did you read the book properly? You're gonna have to start over. This won't work for those elements. Did you read the... You're gonna have to start... This isn't right. You're gonna...
heard there's a new exhibition coming.
Ned, hey.
You've reached the voicemail inbox of Ned Nickers. Hello?
Is this Damien Faulkner?
Yeah?
Hi, my name is Nancy Drew. I'm a private investigator currently working the Hathorne House case on behalf of Judge Danforth. Do you mind if I take up a minute of your time?
Go ahead.
Just wanted to follow up on some statements.
Statements made by who?
Tegan Perry,
Yes?
your girlfriend.
Right.
Where were you?
Sorry, but were these statements given to the police?
No. They were given to me, willingly.
Yeah, sorry. I work for Alicia, and I've learned to make sure that when you're being questioned, you always have a lawyer present. I don't want to sound like I'm guilty or complicit. I just know my rights.
Of course.
But you sound trustworthy.
Oh, thanks.
I've interned for her for a while.
You seem to know.
I listen to her on the phone. A lot.
Yeah.
Watched a movie.
Okay.
Honestly, couldn't tell you. Tegan Six. You know, there's always some kind of... I'm into heart.
Oh.
Anything else?
No.
Yep.
Tegan, I was able to rule out some...
You need to come here, quickly. Something's happened.
I'll be right... What happened?
How did it come to this?
Sorry, Ned. Come on, let's get inside.
So I didn't tell you everything. You know, it's just...
It's okay.
When I started working at the museum, I was curious about our town's history. Because I think history is the most important.
Of course.
Well, I found out something about my family.
Okay.
Samuel Paris and his daughter Betty were the first accusers of witches. They were directly responsible for the
the
head of the AW organization. My family helped murder their ancestors.
Why do you
I don't know. Maybe it's someone else who wants the Hathorne House. No one in AW...
It's going to be okay. Hey guys, can you give me an update? Hey guys, can you give me an update?
Nancy, I have missed talking to you. I need some rationality in my life.
Complaining about rationality is inherently irrational.
Right. What's going on? Everything okay?
Not really. I'm at the Perry house. Someone vandalized it with graffiti.
Really?
Turns out the Perrys are descendants of the Paris family. A family who was responsible for sending some of the accused...
Wow, doesn't she run that...
Exactly. Explains why she's so dedicated.
So, someone is trying...
Looks like.
Nope. It's a joke.
If you have to explain it.
I get it. Listen, things are a little...
No, I mean, we haven't really discussed...
Frank?
Right.
If you're done being awkward, I could use your help.
What? I'm not awkward.
Whatever you say, partner.
Let's finish our search and get out of
Sure, but don't rush. We're here to prove the existence of that requires
and steady equipment.
all set. I'll use the antenna to search for suspicious cold spot.
The spectral analyte? Anyway.
Of course. I built it myself. The device has a top-of-the-line scan.
And I guess this
thoroughly, but yeah.